I'm going to move very swiftly onto Arsenal. What are your plans and where do you see yourself? Are you going to get over that hump and actually get into the number one position this season?
I'll be very honest, and this is trying to speak impartially. I think the business Arsenal's done in the window, just to add a spot in, which I said to Buddy just now, is I would have preferred to lead with the transfers before...
Go on.
Do you get what I mean?
Where we are.
Okay.
Go on.
So with the business that's been done, where Arsenal fell short at one aspect was we had no second line of defence. So last season, our first line of defence, when that got taken out, there was no competition like, you know what I mean? Liverpool were saying, well, you know what I mean? Even if our players, like even if you took out, not the best four, but the four main players, there are another four that can come and step in and keep the momentum there or thereabouts. With Arsenal, 3-4 players come out, you're now looking at youth team players coming to start and play and blooding themselves in the Prem. So as much as, you finished second, I don't even agree or believe in any of that because the team, the club, didn't do enough in the previous windows to ensure that your first line and second line is covered. Now, this season with, I believe, the introduction of Andrea Berta, he's looked at the team and said, well, do you know what? We want 2 players in every position. And now, like as of today, he has now 2 players in every position. Or Arteta has 2 players in every position. So, in theory, if you continue as you started last season, and if any of your main players get injured and you bring in your backup, the standard or quality shouldn't drop as much. It will drop some, but just not necessarily as much. So therefore, with that in mind, I should see no reason why we can't be challenging or bettering Liverpool and Man City.
Do you think you're better than you was last season?
Yes.
Based on what?
Why?
I think we are better than we are last season based on three factors. Number one, they've addressed the second line, as I've mentioned. Number two, I think the club as a whole just needed uplifting. So even if Gyökeres doesn't do the striker, doesn't do what everyone's expecting him to do, I think the feeling of all of the players, the club, the fan base has been lifted. So just therefore, you kind of feel like, let's call it the Leicester factor. Do you get what I mean? You feel better, like, yeah, we're okay now. We've got Buddy in the team. So if Buddy scores like, in Space Jam, let's drink this magic potion. It doesn't matter if Buddy does good or not. We all feel like we're a better team. So I think it's that sort of factor of that. And the third thing, and the thing that I'm most excited about, is Liverpool strengthened, City has strengthened, Chelsea's looking good. I can't really talk any other teams. I don't know what they've done. And there's no one here to help me out. But so with that, I think you'll get a healthy competition. So where, for example, if we look at Liverpool, they've done some great business. You're not going to talk about it soon. That's great. However, because many other teams have done great, where Liverpool won, sorry lads, I don't know exactly. I think you lost 3 games.
Last season?
Yeah, just call it 3 games. Call it 3 games.
It was 4 games.
Okay, so let's say you've lost 3 or 4 games and drew a few but won all of the rest. Now there'll be more opportunities for other teams who have improved to now start nicking points off you. And if they nick points off you, I'm not saying we're definitely going to get those same points, but it might rebalance the table. However, what I do believe, and the reason why I never said definitely first place, is because you put that factor in place. If you do not cover all of your bases, you leave yourself exposed. And I still feel Arsenal have a couple bases that still need to be covered.
So do you feel... Sorry,
Go on.
I'm going to ask you a question here, 2 questions. So the first thing is, you said obviously the euphoria of someone coming in new, that's coming with, the eyesight of a proper striker, etc., 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 lifts the squad. Don't you feel like that was the same feeling when you bought Rice? Like, don't you feel like everyone thought like he was going to be, like, he was... The guy. To fix everything.
We need a central midfielder.
Yeah,
we got Declan Rice, the best midfielder.
Gonna win the league.
We're going to win the league.
Before Declan Rice,
Jesus.
It was Gabriel.
Yeah.
Like, he's the number 9 we've been looking for, blah, 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 blah.
We're going to win the league.
So, like, obviously, answer that, because I've got another question, if you can. Like,
so you're saying...
What's the difference between those two and I'm going to win the league as an Arsenal fan and
Norgard and Gyökeres and Supermendi?
So to answer the question, and I can say this now,
Yeah, go on.
that if we've come second, and this last season weren't close, but the 2 previous seasons we were challenging, and there was just something missing.
You bottled it at Christmas.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but there was something missing. Let's just be honest. And there's something missing. It's like, right, what was that something? We all knew, right, your striker's not striking. He's not doing these numbers. If we had a striker banging in just the average amount of goals, loads of them draws would have been wins. And that could have been the difference. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you remember that Newcastle game.
Yep.
Killed Arsenal.
Small
Do you know
margins,
what I mean?
yeah.
So it's things like, wow, if you turn them draws into wins, or do you know what I mean? Them close draws into a loss. Just keep it where it was. Then things change. And I think as a team, getting to second with what Arsenal had last season was a disrespect to the rest of the league. It just shows how poor the rest of the league were, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I felt too many Arsenal's main players weren't available, and we still got to second. Whereas if all of those players are okay for this season, and there's enough rotation and blah, 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 and whatever else, and you perform the same way, and then you add an X factor, then you're good. I still think there's weaknesses in the team which can and will be exploited unless you fix that. And that could be via the management or via the purchases.
So, all right, you've touched on the second question there, just as you was tailing off. So, you said as the management. Now, I know that you've recently acquired an assistant manager in Gabriel Heinze, yeah? Mm-hmm. Seasoned professional. He's got medals that he comes with, so he can show you, man, while going inside.
Oh, what, the former Man United defender?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
That's why I'm picking him up. You didn't realise.
Okay.
So, if you lied. Anyway. So, do you feel like he has any influence in how you guys are going to go into next season? Because obviously you're saying management as well. Well, he's new to the fold, so he has to be part of the plan.
Of course. And one thing which I thought was brilliant, I don't know if it was done on purpose or not, but they showed, I don't know if it was first training session but definitely within the first week, they showed him talking to Saka, Odegaard.
One-to-one, yeah.
One-to-one. And the guys he was talking to didn't look happy. Do you know what I mean? Because he's not necessarily saying, okay, cuddles, hugs, and cauliflower, do you know what I mean? Fairy dust. He was like, no, do this, do that, do that. And you could see him talking, he's got venom in his eyes. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's being direct in what he's saying, even in some of the, and it's just friendlies or whatever, but just seeing him on the pitch, having these conversations, I'm looking at him like, he's not going to sit there next to Arteta and just be like, okay, boss, okay, boss, okay, but he's like, no, do this, do that. You, come here, run, blah, blah, blah. And when you've got, like, if Arteta's being the cuddly, I suppose, I can't say cuddly.
I think the assistant manager
flowery.
was accused of being more of a cuddly guy.
Yeah, so now you've got a friend,
That's what
but
I've been told.
now you've got someone who's no nonsense.
Good cop,
Listen,
bad cop.
I'm here to make sure you win,
Yeah.
and I can see where you're going wrong. This is what you need to do. Then no one's comfortable. And then when you go back to, as I said, the same purchases, if you've got a strong front line, the first team, and then your second team is equally as strong, if you're not doing what I'm saying, yo, buddy, Wiley, warm up. Can take off Buddy. Yeah. And then Buddy's like, rah, well, do you know what I mean? I'm the guy. Well, you was the guy, but we now got Wiley in. So we're going to swap almost like for like. Wiley, you're going to do what I said though, right? Yeah, I'm definitely going to run down the wing, you know what I mean, beat the defender, cross it in.
Say that.
You're welcome. I'll just say you're welcome from now then.
From now?
Yeah, just because he's obviously putting a resilience in there that comes from the United
From
background. But,
resilience.
I mean,
how resilient are you when you're at the bottom?
But I mean, for me, I'm sorry, Citrus, but I'm actually going to call bullshit on the whole thing. All right, I am. I'm sorry. Like, do you know why? Because I look at it and I think to myself, and you're going to disagree with this, but just off the bat right now, is Jesus, is a Gokeres any better than Jesus? Of the boat right now, what you know of in the Premier League, you're going to sit there and say, in the Premier League,
yes.
All right, so anyone else around the room, are you saying Gokeres as well is better than Jesus right now? We don't know what Gokeres is doing.
If I had a choice between the two, I'll take Gokeres over Jesus.
Over Jesus, prime Jesus. I'm not talking about finished knees, broken Jesus.
But they don't have prime Jesus though.
But the Jesus that they got, that's the Jesus that when they bought him, the one that they got, the one before the rock up knees, which one are you taking?
As a goal scorer? Probably Gokeres. Jesus wasn't really a
in
goal
the Prem.
like that.
Was never a goal scorer.
Even
for City, he was
as a player, yes.
He was.
As a player,
his first two seasons at City,
yes,
he was.
Right.
But after
Then
that, then he went to the wing and he never regained the confidence to play as a number 9 again.
Arsenal never had
my point is, so you're going to say Gokeres over Jesus, right? So then we go back into the midfield. Partey or Norgard?
Partey.
Jorginho
or Zubimendi?
Zubimendi.
You're going to Zubimendi over Jorginho, yeah?
Current, in current form.
Definitely.
That's fine.
Definitely.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
definitely.
So these are the improved. Oh yeah, we've got Madwake and I don't know who they sold. Who else they sold on the wing?
I don't know what they were
Nelson's
thinking with
going.
that buy.
What's
but
the
anyway.
Madwake or Nelson?
Tomiyasu.
Look, that's not a like for like.
Of
Same
any-
position.
What do you mean?
Same
Where
position.
does Tomiyasu play, bro?
He plays left wing.
At the moment, Noni's an addition. There's not been a subtraction unless
Nelson's going.
Trossard goes.
Nelson
Unless Trossard
and-
goes, there you
and
go.
Nelson.
I mean, Nelson's on loan actually. So
Yeah,
you're right.
recently.
Yeah,
So
Nelson's on loan.
Trossard or Madwake, which one are you taking?
Trossard.
But Madueke isn't a replacement for Trossard.
It's left.
No.
You got two.
No.
You got two
What you're
positions.
doing, you're saying rice and peas or gungo or
No, you got right and
or
passing,
McDonald's.
You got right and passing.
You're up to your own team.
No, but
Rice
what
and
he's
peas and
saying,
McDonald's.
No, bro. What you're turning around and saying,
I mean,
what you're turning around and saying is, you said who's a replacement for the centre back, and I gave a name of centre back. You said no. That don't make
What's
sense.
centre back? I never
No,
said
he
it. I
didn't
never
say
said
centre
centre
back.
back.
He said left winger. I said Noni. I said Noni Madueke.
Madueke, what?
The
Who is he?
winger, the Chelsea winger.
So who is? No, he's not. It's an Arsenal player. But go
Now
on.
he is.
But who is he? Who is he?
Chelsea
What?
got-
Who is he? What? Who is he replacing?
Yeah, who's he?
He's not
so
replacing
that's
Chelsea.
Trossard.
He said he's an addition.
I literally said.
I said he's an addition.
I just
Yeah,
said
we said
there was a
that.
gap in the squad and it's been filled.
No,
And you're
you're missing a part because I said I'm giving you the like-for-like replacements for the players that have come in.
So why have you mentioned Trossard and Madueke? I don't understand.
The improvements that your squad is making. So when I mentioned Partey, I mentioned Partey and Norgard. When I mentioned Jorginho, I mentioned Jorginho and Zubimendi. When I mentioned Gokeres, I said Gokeres and Jesus because I said, they both players. I'm using them as a striker. Or you could have put Havertz. Is the other one I could have actually said.
Basically, the main crux is the Arsenal team of last season versus the Arsenal team you have now. What is improving it? You think that squad wise? I know you said that you got one. You got two. Buddy's question is basically are your players coming in any
right
better?
now in the first team? You've improved the striker.
Yep.
And potentially, because I haven't seen him play, you've improved your number 6.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Right.
have you answered the question though? Have you answered where do you see yourself
Where do you see
this coming
yourself?
season? Because I thought
I
that
did.
you
I
just-
said.
He said top. He said top.
I
So you said
said
win
top
the league.
and challenging.
winning
Yeah,
league.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So these improvements have made you now the champions in your eyes.
I said that there are still gaps. So either the management or you have to purchase.
Okay.
And for
You
me-
did say that you had enough to be above Liverpool and Man City, though.
I said we need to do better than Liverpool, Man City, and I also said there are other teams that are strengthening. I'd love to mention your teams, but cool. There are other teams that are strengthening that are now going to pull points off Liverpool, where they were like, "Yo." For example, Brentford home and away. Liverpool are saying 6 points easy, but Brentford are now saying, "Well, 1 second, we know how Liverpool play.
Yeah.
We're now going to get a loss
draw.
and a draw." Now, if things like that
But they're
happen,
not now. They're not now.
Lads,
Yeah, go on.
If that's happening across the league, then you get a fairer balance. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool won the league, in my opinion, in April.
Okay.
In April,
fair
it
point.
was
Fair
done.
point.
Now, and teams were like, "Oh, we're playing Liverpool." Okay, so then let's just
actually
put
before that
let's
was
just put the youth team on because we don't want our main players to get injured because Tottenham want them in Europa. Do you get what I'm saying? They weren't saying let's go and grab 3 points off
of Liverpool.
So they were just saying, "Oh, do you know what? Let them do that. It's fine because our focus is this." Whereas now teams are saying, well,
I didn't feel that.
allegations are saying that
Didn't feel
they're
that.
going to be stronger and challenging for certain positions. So they have to effectively pull points off the top teams. And as long as my team does what it's been doing and your team's aiming to do the same, we need to make sure that if Liverpool are dropping points and Man City are dropping points, we're capitalising on them draws and on them losses.
Yeah.